Today, I'm in the historical town of Leadville, Colorado, a town that was once the home to legendary Doc Holliday, where the infamous Molly Brown made her fortune, and where Baby Doe Tabor made her final resting place. I'm about to board a piece of Leadville history that has been preserved for all of us to enjoy. The Leadville, Colorado and Southern Railroad, a train that once took miners from Denver up to 10,000 feet in search of gold.
This train, they started in 1884. You had a lot of middle class, a lot of upper class people that would come up here. The Guggenheims were up here, of course the Tabors, the Browns. At one time, Leadville had the highest population of any city west of Mississippi, and it was one of 5 cities that was on the short list of becoming the state capital.
Now, there was a competition with different railroads in this area. Tell us about that rivalry.
So the rivalry, the huge one for Leadville at least, was the Denver and Rio Grande and the Denver, South Park and Pacific. During those times, it was just little petty battles between rail workers. There was areas where the South Park would send workers to the Rio Grande to prevent them from laying down track, and vice versa. There was even times where the Army Guards had to be called to prevent the workers from doing this.
Imagine riding this train in the late 1800s, early 1900s. There were miners, families, and tens of thousands of other people who were coming to Leadville to start a new life. Let's talk about some of the more famous characters that have been on this train, especially in the history of the railroad.
One of them that probably a lot of people will know is known as the unsinkable Molly Brown. Her and her husband actually made their fortune in Leadville. So if you ever hear of J.J. Brown coming west for his fortune with gold, it was made here in Leadville. Doc Holliday, he actually did get in a gun battle here in Leadville. That was over a bet of $2. He didn't kill his last man here in Leadville, but he did have one of his last gun battles here in Leadville. One of them that is, depending on who you talk to, is kind of infamous is Baby Doe Tabor. She was the mistress to Horace Tabor. He was pretty sick, and before he died, he had asked Baby Doe to keep the matchless mine open, and she kept that promise. She actually passed away in that cabin at the matchless mine in 1935. They found her froze to death in that cabin.
1987, when the mine closed down because the price of molybdenum fell out of the bottom. That's when the railroad company that owned it, BNSF, decided to sell it to a local businessman. Ken Olson, he's a great man. He tells people it's the most expensive $10 he ever spent. Yes, $10. He bought it in 1987, opened it up Memorial Day weekend 1988, and it's been running every year since.
My parents purchased it and turned it into a tourist railroad, and it's kind of a bittersweet and awesome time period because while we had a number of highly skilled laborers who were unemployed, we got to take advantage and we became this gorgeous railroad that was made out of flat cars, and it's just phenomenal what those people accomplished back in the 1980s. I want you to come up to Leadville so that you can relax, so that you can enjoy the mountains, so you can enjoy the wilderness. We do have great opportunities where you can go in the engine, you can go into the Caboose Rides. Now for those of you who want a little bit more adventure, we do have zip lining tours, so it's a really great opportunity.
A wonderful day trip that you don't have to sit on I-70 to go enjoy the mountains.
Yes.